All right, what's going on, y'all? Big Facts Friday in the building. Trying something new today. I usually record off my phone using Facebook Live, and then I download it and edit it and all that shit. After I tried it the first time in Word, I didn't try nothing else. But today, I wanted to try to use my camera. So today we're using my digital camera. We're gonna see how this go. Alright? Hi. Welcome to the FreeGameAlert podcast show, where we believe that the game should be free, but the rules on how to play that motherfucker gonna cost you. Alright? I'm your host, Bree, giver of free game. You can catch me on all social medias. We on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can also visit us on the website, www.theblackplainjane.com. No caps, no spaces, no fancy way to spelling it, because we like to keep things plain Jane around this thing. Can you dig it? Alright. Alright, y'all. Oh yeah, links are in the description as well. I always forget that part. I just assume you know, but you know. You know what they say about assuming. You make a what? Ass out of you and me. Moving on. Alright, so y'all know what it is. First segment of the day is your ancestry. And you know what? Y'all know how I am about details and disclaimers and clarity and understanding. So let's get an understanding, okay? When it comes to a topic that I'm passionate on, I could talk for hours. Literally hours. So I realized that in this day and age, a lot of people got a short ass attention span, and I should probably try to condense these podcast episodes as much as possible, because they be running well past the hour. About an hour 30, hour 45, you know, an hour 20 on a good day. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try, but the message gotta come through how the message come through. Okay? Just know I'm working on it, alright? Alright. So y'all see me looking at the camera. I'm looking up because I'm looking at myself in the screen instead of looking at the lens. I apologize. Like I said, I'm used to using my phone. Not used to using my camera. So we're gonna talk to the camera from now on. Alright, y'all. So let's jump into it. Segment number 1, your ancestry. Today, I want to talk about voodoo. Voodoo is a widely misconceived concept. A lot of people don't understand it, so they shun it. Like, oh, it's evil, oh, it's satanic. But let's talk about what voodoo really is, okay? First and foremost, voodoo stems from the motherland, all right? The western coast, to be exact. Well, that's where we know it to come from, because the western coast of Africa, Western Africa, is the part of Africa that was mainly touched by colonization, okay? The border. So Africa, as we know, is the biggest continent on this globe, right? What we know about Africa, what's been documented, is that they have 54 countries. Personally, I believe it's a little bit more than that. I believe it's still countries and villages and land that has been untouched by colonization, or they've rid themselves of colonization and isolated themselves from being able to be penetrated by colonizers and them white folks. You feel me? So, as far as we know, voodoo originated from the western countries of Africa. In particular, the countries where the Yoruba people settled. So, the Yoruba people and the Bantu people are two of the biggest tribes that we know about from the motherland. All right? Now, don't get caught up on tribe. When I say tribe, it's just a group of people, like I said in the other show. So within the Yoruba people, there are many different tribal cultures. For example, the Fon people, F-O-N, and the Ewa people, E-W-E. Those are two cultural tribes within the bigger tribe of the Yoruba people. All right? So those two tribes I just mentioned, the Fon people and the Ewa people, are the birthers of voodoo. All right? Let's get that out the way. Now, the original name for voodoo is Voodoo. V-O-D-U-N. We know it as religion because we've been accustomed to the concept of religion. But back on the motherland, religion wasn't a concept pre-7 continents, pre-slavery. There was no such thing as religion. It was spirituality, for lack of a better words. It was more so of them finding ways to, well, following the ways of their ancestors and the ancestors before that was given to them by the higher spirits, ways to communicate with them, to stay in touch with them, to connect with them, to co-create with them. Okay? So originally it was called Vodun or Vodun or Voodoo with the N silent. Just depends on which tribe you was talking to. Okay? There's many different spellings, many different ways to say it. From me trying to study my ancestry and narrowing it down to the different tribes I could be from. The Fine people is one of the top people that I could be from. Okay, and they say it as Vodun, so that's how I pronounce it. So a lot of people think that voodoo started in Haiti. Okay, now although voodoo was in Haiti, it did not begin in Haiti. It began in Western Africa. What came out of Western Africa? Your ancestors, baby. A lot of people think that the African peoples were stolen strictly to come to American slavery. No, no, no. Slavery was everywhere. We were stolen and shipped across many continents, Haiti being one of them. All right? So some of the Yoruba people landed in Haiti. And the reason a lot of people think that voodoo began in Haiti is because voodoo was popularized due to what happened in Haiti with the Yoruba people who were enslaved there. What happened? Do y'all know what happened in Haiti? Y'all know what I'm talking about? The Haitian Revolution. A lot of people believe, and I do too, I actually think it's a fucking fact, that the Haitian Revolution was won by the African peoples because of the aid of voodoo. That makes sense? So they use voodoo, which is basically just contacting the spirit world, spirituality, being connected with spirit. They used voodoo to help them win their revolt. Because if it was just a matter of having enough numbers to win, having the willpower to win, it would have happened all across all continents. But see, the Africans that landed in Haiti was so strong in their faith. They stuck together. It wasn't that long of a ride as it was from Africa to the Americas. So they had more strength left. You understand what I'm saying? So we gotta realize that African people were shipped everywhere, not just North America. They were shipped to the Caribbeans, the Caribbean islands, Cuba, Spain, Europe, Haiti, etc., etc. Okay? Everywhere. I mean, everywhere. The ones who wasn't already native to that country before the Europeans discovered it or fell upon it or was led to it, they were brought there during the slave trade. So you motherfuckers who trying to argue that the Atlantic slave trade wasn't real, you stupid. You stupid as fuck. These are stories from experiences that not only our ancestors witnessed, but they made sure to pass down. If we couldn't pass down our culture, if that got beat out of us, if nothing else, we was going to make sure our grandchildren knew this ain't your land. You wasn't of this land. You were stolen. You are stolen property on a stolen land. Okay? I want y'all to understand that in ancient Africa, pre-slavery, all the way back before pre-7 continents, the original people, the original melanated people were a nomadic people. They traveled based on need. They traveled based on when the Most High said, get up, go. Y'all filled this land. Now move on to the next piece. You understand what I'm saying? So if they couldn't find no natural resources to survive on the piece of land they were in, they would travel until they found land that was more fruitful. And that's why nobody can necessarily pinpoint African rituals, customs, cultures to one particular country. They pinpoint and correlate their culture, their people, their ancestry with their tribe. The tribe they from. That's why you don't hear natural born Africans saying shit like, you know, they not nationalists. They don't necessarily rep their country. They rep their tribe. You understand what I'm saying? The newer age ones, yes, it's a nationalist society because they've been westernized. But the old school, back in the day, pre-slavery, pre-7 continents, hell, even some of them now, if they coming from a village that's still pure, they won't say, oh, I'm Nigerian. They gonna say, I'm Fula. I'm Fan. I'm Yoruba. You understand? So all of these rituals, customs, concepts, like voodoo, you won't be able to link it to a particular country. You're going to have to link it to the people that birthed it, which would be the Yoruba people. Okay? Stay with me, y'all. Let's get through this, okay? Now, VooDoo is based on 7 principles. What in the culture they call the 7 African powers. Now, by powers, they referencing gods, Loas, Orishas, higher powers. Okay? We got to know that. We got to understand that first and foremost. There is a book called The 7 African Powers, The Orishas, by Monique Joyner Siedlak, Siedlak. It's a really, really good reference for you to be introduced to the 7 Orishas, the 7 gods of Africa, the original 7 gods, the 7 energies that protect the earth, and to understand what they represent. Okay, it's a real short read. It's like, I don't even think it's more than 100 pages, but it break it down so well, like, you could tell that info was passed down to her through her ancestry. This is why, well, this is one of the reasons why I don't refer to the Most High as God. Because gods are like the Most High's right-hand man. Gods are simply humans who have spiritually ascended to a level of spirituality that puts them on a superhuman status. It makes them superhuman beings. For example, who y'all refer to as Jesus, Yahshua, the Savior, the Prophet, the Christ. That was a God. And he served the Most High, the Supreme Being, a higher power. You understand? And there is a book written strictly by Yahshua, speaking on what the Most High told him directly. And they took that out of the Bible. They actually destroyed that book. If they didn't destroy it, it's one of the ones that's still hidden and they won't release it. Because in that book, Yahshua was saying exactly what I'm telling y'all right now. Like they've been teaching us wrong. You don't have to go to church to have a relationship with the Most High. That's just a building. Do you honestly think the creator of the universe needs you to go to a particular spot to know him, to worship, to praise, to thank, to give, to move like him, to live in that word? Do you honestly think you have to go to a building to catch that? I say that to say, the stuff that I'm talking about right now and any other time, it's not just speculation. It's not just something that I'm sitting back like, I heard Dr. Umar Johnson say this, so it must be true. No. This is shit that has been downloaded into my spirit through my ancestry. It's in my DNA. It's shit I know, and I don't even know how I know it. No bullshit. I be knowing shit like, damn, how do I know that? Is it true? Am I tripping? Am I making shit up? So then I'll go research it. And when I start researching something, I goes down the rabbit hole. You hear me? I don't just stop at one source. I always feel like I gotta lean into the mic. But I don't just stop at one source. When I research some shit, I go down a rabbit hole. I research it until I can't find nothing else on it. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't something that I'm not just talking. Is my point. This is one of the reasons why I don't refer to the Most High as God. Nipsey was a god. By my definition of what a god is, Nipsey was a god. His connection with the Most High was direct, pure, something he found for himself. It wasn't given to him. Didn't nobody say, this is how it is, this is what you need to do, this is how you should move. He had to go through life the way the Most High intended him to. He had to learn his lessons the way the Most High intended him to. He had to fight off the demons that were attached to him by having blind faith in the Most High, in the spirit realm, and by understanding it and co-creating with them to be better. To make himself go from a man to a spiritual being. To go from a man to a king, from a king to a god. Once he reached that God-like level, he had to be released. He had to go to the next realm. It wasn't nothing else here for him. And that's why religions teach us monotheism. Y'all know what that is? Monotheism is the belief of one God. Okay? It's a control mechanism. If you knew that gods were simply humans who ascended to the highest height of their spiritual journey, and then the Most High appointed them to be superhuman beings, would anybody be able to control you? Would they be able to implement any type of system, from government to currency to race to class? If you knew your true potential, if you knew within you was the potential to have God-like powers, God-like insight, God-like knowledge, would they be able to tell you anything about yourself? Would they be able to control your mind in any way? Hell fucking no. So you see, they can't tell you the truth. They can't let you know the truth. If they did that, it wouldn't be no hierarchy. It wouldn't be no system. And we would be in charge. Melanated folks. That's why they took away the knowledge of the different gods. A lot of people think that shit is Greek philosophy. No. Oh, hell no. The Greeks were the first one to spread it to different continents. But they learned what they learned. They got all they got. They actually plagiarized everything that we consider to be Greek philosophy, Greek culture, Greek mythology. All that shit was plagiarized from us. You understand? Pre-7 continents, and even after, when it was 7 continents, the only university was in Africa. It's a book called From Timbuktu and Beyond. I think that's the name of it. To Timbuktu, From Timbuktu and Beyond. I read it a while ago and I don't even think I got through it. Because as I started reading it, I just knew. I knew everything in that fucking book. It was like, oh, I knew that already. I felt that. So I didn't really feel like it was no need to finish reading it. And that's not to say that I know everything or that I'm smarter than the people who spend years researching it. I'm saying that's my testimony. That's my testament. The proof in the pudding that all the answers you need are inside you. All you have to do is seek counsel from your higher powers, from your ancestors, from the spirit realm, but above all else, from the Most High. But the reason I list ancestors and spirit before the Most High is because that's their job. The Most High delegated the task of answering us and life's questions to our ancestors, to our spirit guides, to higher powers like the 7 African powers. You understand? So yeah, of course, you want to consult the Most High. But it's not a bad idea to implement everybody else too. When I pray, I don't just pray to the Most High. I pray to the ancestors, the Orishas. This is my prayer. So before I say a prayer in the morning, when I do my libations, I do my libations every single morning. Libations is just the act of giving spirit before you intake. So I make my coffee every morning. Before I take a sip, I say my prayer and I pour some out, but you gotta pour it out outside, and it gotta touch earth, not cement, not the sidewalk, earth, your grass, the soil. It has to touch earth, because as spirits, the body goes back to which it came, so it goes back to dirt. It goes back to the earth to replenish the earth, right? So you want to pay respects to the spirit, which is intangible. You can't touch it. It's just energy. You can't give nothing to energy because it's energy. So you want to give back to the soil in which their body returned. So every morning, before I do my libations, before I pour out some of my coffee for my spirit team, because they like coffee too, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gotta be coffee. It can be whatever. Before you take the first drink of your day, you should be giving to the spirit. That's what libations is in essence. So what I say is, this is for the ancestors, my Granny Yvonne, the Orishas, Oshun, Alegua, and above all else, the Most High. This is for you. Pour out, then I sip. After Orishas, I said Oshun and Alegua. Those are the 2 Orishas that I'm familiar with. Those are the 2 Orishas that have come through to me. And not in no freaky ass movie type of, ooh, I got possessed. Ooh, they sent me a sign. They threw a mirror across my room. No shit like that. No goofy ass shit. Real shit. I'm talking about when you sitting in solitude, when you sitting in your pain and you feeling like, what the fuck is the point? And then that little voice in the back of your head just get to saying shit. Like, you know you ain't thinking nothing, but you hear your mind talking to you. That's spirit. Come on. What you think that is? So, that's why I always speak on the ancestors and higher powers in addition to the Most High. It's not that I'm saying don't praise the Most High, God, whatever you want to refer to it as, the Supreme Being. I'm not saying don't just praise that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying while you praising the Most High, don't forget to praise his frontline soldiers. He put them there for you. You don't want to give them the respect that he gives them? Why wouldn't you? Right? And I do want y'all to look into libations, straight up. Because it's something that's so simple to partake in. For example, the Catholics, they do the crackers and the wine, the body of Christ, the blood of Christ. That's the same thing. It's just a different ritual. That's how they pay respects to Christ. It's them paying respects to the ancestor. You understand? It just looked different. But your ancestry, your people from the motherland, they gave libations. That's your ritual. Look it up. Adopt it if it feels right to your soul. It feels so right to my soul that it came so natural. You know, usually for me personally, since my mind knows that it takes 21 days to form a habit, I have to force myself for the first 3 weeks, which is 21 days. I have to force myself for the first 3 weeks of any new thing I'm trying to implement. I have to force myself to make sure I do it so it can become a habit. With that, I only fucked up once. I forgot 1 week. After that, when I was like, oh, nah, I'm going to start over. I did not forget. My soul was, it's like it was happy. Like, yes, you finally get it. You finally see what I'm trying to get you to see when it comes to this part of it. Because, see, you can't never get something for nothing. You can't be calling on spirit, expecting them to continuously come through and help you and guide you without you offering something in return. That's life. Give and take, reciprocity, the contrast, the good, the bad, the dark, the light, the day, the night, the good, the evil. There has to be balance. You can't just take from spirit and never give. Would you just want somebody to take from you and never give? No. So you can't do that to them. Come on. Respect is one of the key factors, not only in spirituality, but in life. That's why you'll find in a lot of African cultures and languages, certain concepts and words are not recognized. Period. Like they don't have words, certain words in their language, which means they can't have certain concepts. For example, religion is not a concept in Africa. They don't understand. Well, now, obviously, because of colonization. Now, when I'm talking in this segment of your ancestry, understand, I'm speaking on pre-slavery and pre-7 continents. I'm not talking about now, okay? So, religion was not a concept over there with us, with your ancestors. Good and bad, right and wrong, heaven and hell, death. Those were not concepts. They had a deep, like, power. All they had to do was tap into it. All they had to do was call on spirit, call on their ancestors to guide them on how to not only tap into the godlike powers they possessed, but how to use them for the greater good, based on how the Most High wanted them to move, how the Most High wanted them to represent him in this realm. Feel me, y'all. I know somebody feel me. On the other hand, we got mankind, which are, y'all remember from last segment? Non-melanated folks, right? Remember, we human beings, they mankind, right? So on the other hand, we got mankind. Now, those concepts that were not recognized in Africa were recognized amongst mankind because they had no connection to a higher power. Soulless. They got consciousness, but they're soulless. You understand? Again, we speaking on pre-slavery, pre-7 continents. Mankind, non-melanated folks, they needed laws and guidelines on how to live because they didn't have the same connections to spirit that we do. Did and do. You understand? I say that to say, religion is not a concept of ours. It's a concept that was forced on us during the stripping of who you are, of what you are. They can't let y'all know that. They couldn't let y'all know that. You think if we was able to keep that keep that spirituality, keep that knowledge, that we would have just built this country and handed it over. We coming from empires, dynasties, fuck a kingdom. We coming from bigger. That fact alone about them not having no connection to higher powers, not having no most high, no supreme being, particularly of their own, is the reason why the Nation of Islam refers to them as the devil. Our soul was given to us by the Most High. Our soul is a piece of Most High's energy. That's why we're created in his image. That's what that means. The Big Bang Theory, yeah, that's a fact. The problem is Europeans tried to separate science and spirituality to create confusion. But science is the study of spirituality. Science is the study of the universe. Science is trying to figure out the Most High. That's all science is. You're trying to figure out the formula, the blueprint that the Most High laid out in creating the universe. That's all science is. So the Big Bang Theory basically explains how the original people, melanated people, came to be in his image. So after the Big Bang, when these two energies, these two powerful energies collided, it created an offspring of energy. When two things smash into each other, what happens? Debris bursts out of the two things. These two things that smashed into each other are now intermingled. They become one. But the residue of the parts that got crushed or chipped away or broken because these two smacked into each other, the residue goes sprinkling out. So with two energies, if they smash into each other and become one, the residue that's sprinkled out, those little energy pieces that sprinkled away from the two bigger energy pieces, those are us. Those are melanated people. That's why we're of his image. That's why we're direct descendants of the Most High. That's why we're the chosen people. That's why we can withstand all elements of this earth. That's why I say we have souls and mankind, which is non-melanated people, do not. Because non-melanated people were created by gods, which would be us. We can't give them what we don't have to give during creation. So look up the big-headed scientists from the, I forgot what culture said it. But it's an old, ancient African story. They refer to it as a myth or a folk tale. But it's real shit. Basically speaking on the creation of the white man. Right? There's books about that shit too. Now look it up. It's always truth behind everything that's publicly spread. Even if it's a lie, it's always some truth in it. You just gotta consult with your spirit team and figure out which part was real, which part was the bullshit. But I digress. All I'm trying to say is, the reason I say they don't have souls is because they were created. They were created by gods. The gods were created by the Most High. So the Most High created us, and we created mankind. Okay? But when you look up the big head scientist who used his alchemist powers to create this new man, this new type of man, you will understand why the nation referred to white people as the devil. Because the energy, the intent behind the energy that created them was evil. It was the opposite of pure. It was the opposite of the Most High. The yin and the yang. The dark and the night. The yin and the yang. The dark and the light. The day and the night. The good and the bad. The pure versus evil. You understand? We were created out of love. They were created out of hate. That's why their soul is filled with hate. That's why all they can perpetuate and present to the world is hate, separation. In essence, that's all people mean. That's all they referring to when they speak of the devil. They speaking on the negative part of energy. Whereas when you speak on God or the Most High, you speaking on the positive side of energy, the love. When you speak on the devil, you speaking on the hate, the pain, the hurt. When you speaking on the Most High, you speaking on the love, the joy, the happiness. Right? It's all energy, y'all. We steady trying to make we steady trying to make it like people. Like God is this good man and the devil is this bad man, but it's deeper than human aspects. It's deeper than that. And you have to have both to create a whole. Even if you follow religion and you still stuck in God, devil, who was the devil? Thank you. The devil was an offspring of God. He was one of God. He was actually God's right-hand man. The good and the evil, the yin and the yang. All angels were God's children, correct? So if God can produce something as evil as the devil, then it's in God too. God chooses to bring forth the light. All the angels got dark in them, but they choose to live in light. They choose to follow the word of their father. Whereas Lucifer, he let his dark side that was given to him by God, because God has both. God is the end all be all. So yes, it has darkness too. But Lucifer chose to act on his darkness versus bringing forth the light. And all we talking about at the end of the day, don't get caught up on God and devil, Most High and devil, and we talking about energy. Alright? Fact check me. This Big Facts Friday. I ain't bringing no bullshit. I did not come to play today. We getting deeper. Alright? Well, we in our third week? Yeah. We in our third week, y'all. Let's go. Now, I don't bring up none of this to necessarily speak on race, okay? This is deeper than race. I speak on it in a racial sense because that's how we fathom it. That's how we understand it. All right? I just simply want y'all to comprehend and understand exactly what I'm trying to say. Now, what exactly is VooDoo, aka voodoo? Contrary to popular belief, it's not all about voodoo dolls with pins sticking out of it and cutting off goat heads for blood sacrifice. No. The word voodoo, V-O-D-U, originated from the Fan and Iwa people. It means spirit. Literally, voodoo means spirit. That go back to that conversation about understanding the words you're using. Understanding the origins of the words. So if in its original language, its origins, voodoo means spirit, to practice voodoo is simply to practice a form of spirituality. And I say a form of spirituality because there is no one way to be spiritual. Just like there is no one way to practice voodoo. Why? Why is there no one set way to practice voodoo? You ain't gonna never find a book like the Bible. The Bible say Christians follow these rules. The Quran say Muslims follow these rules. The Torah say Orthodox Jews follow these rules. You understand? Voodoo ain't like that. And the reason is, voodoo is the practice of spirituality. Can't nobody put a box and limit how to be spiritual. Again, Voodoo is not just dolls, altars, rituals, and possession. The shit you see in movies and these documentaries created by non-melanated folk or people who don't actually practice voodoo, that's all entertainment. They presenting information they don't understand. And what happens when we don't understand something? We create fear. We fear it because we don't understand it. We fear what we don't know. It's misguided information is my point. Okay? So when you start looking up voodoo and you start researching it and finding books and resources, make sure you picking through and looking for resources and sources on voodoo that are coming straight from the horse's mouth. Take it in from people who practice it. Because as I said, there's no one way. Ain't no rules to this shit. And the thing that I love about voodoo, and this is just proof in the fucking pudding that it ain't no satanic shit about voodoo. It's about spirituality. It's because in voodoo, the reason there's no set one way to do it, the reason there's no one rule book on how to practice voodoo is because they take every concept, every religion, every philosophy, every belief, every theory, and they study it. They study everything. They study everything and they take from it what the spirits tell them is correct. They believe in not only opening your consciousness, but expanding on it by implementing the many different facets of the many different religions, concepts, theories, philosophies, etc., etc. True consciousness, as we spoke about last week. And that's why I encourage y'all to look it up. That's why I encourage y'all to study it. You don't have to practice it, but study it. Understand it before you shun it. This is your ancestry, y'all. This is your ancestry. Melanated people. This is your ancestry. Pre-slavery. Pre-7 continents. This is the ancestry of the original people. The chosen people. Most High's people. Get in tune. Stop letting these colonizers tell y'all what's good and evil. They're not gods. They're not your higher power. At no point in history have they had your best interest at heart. Why would the information they give you be any different? To practice voodoo is to speak and to interact with spirit in order to co-create in a way that will bring together a bridge between both worlds, the physical and the spiritual. Okay? In a way that will bring more peace, love, and light into this realm. In a way that will show the world what it is to be a God. In a way that will show the world what it is to live in the word of the Most High. Voodoo shows us how to acknowledge and respect our ancestors. The dolls, the altars, the rituals, tarot cards, all that shit is just divination tools. Tools that you can use to allow spirit to come through and speak to you and those that you giving answers to. If you were a priestess, or if you a tarot reader, or an intuitive psychic, or whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you do to work with spirit to bring messages to the masses, all that shit is just tools. It ain't nothing evil about giving spirit ways to come through and speak. I'll never understand that. Like, a lot of people say that voodoo is demonic because of the possession rituals that they do, where they allow themselves to be possessed by spirit so spirit can speak through them, through their body, literally. But How is that any different than when Christians catch the Holy Ghost? Huh? What you say? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Break that conformist shit. Don't come around here talking about that shit is demonic because of possession when you clapping your hands, stomping your feet, and waving your fan for Sister Mary who done fell out speaking in tongues with the Holy Ghost. Check it out, y'all, for real. It's interesting as shit. And once you start reading it, if it's of your ancestry, like in your bloodline, in your DNA, it's gonna connect. And the shit that's being spoke on, you're going to start to realize as truth. Like, oh my goodness. I cannot fucking believe all this time, all these answers to some of life's biggest questions were not only inside of me, but are laced inside of the shit that these white folks been telling us is evil. This is your ancestry. Pre-slavery. Pre-7 continents. Get into them. Moving on. Section numero dos. Vocab breakdown. So we already pretty much kind of started on I spoke on the word for the day. So today I want to speak more so on a concept than the word itself. We're talking about death, y'all. Okay? So as I stated, death was not a concept in ancient Africa. Pre-slavery, pre-7 continents, death wasn't a concept. There was no word for death over there. By definition, this is what death means. I'm going to read it to y'all. Y'all know how I do. The action or fact of dying or being killed. The end of the life of a person or organism. That's definition 1. Definition 2. The permanent ending of vital processes in a cell or tissue. That's what death is by definition. Okay? Nowhere in there did it mention your consciousness. Nowhere in there did it mention a soul. Nowhere in there did it mention your spirit. Right? Death is a European concept. That word originates from Germanic Old English. See, the reason it wasn't a concept over in the motherland is because we understood that A, we are not our bodies, we are our consciousness. Okay? And our consciousness is simply energy. And energy never dies. It transfers. We understood that from the beginning of times because we were of the Most High. We knew that. Our pineal glands was wide the fuck open before these Europeans started trying to shut it down. They really tried to eliminate it, but they couldn't figure out how. Which sprung the beginning, well, not the beginning, which sprung the beginning of science in a European manner. Trying to fuck with the body, re-alter the body, change the design of the body. But I digress. So we understood that we are not our bodies, we are our consciousness. And because of that, once the cells and the tissues, aka the body, died, the person that we knew simply ascended to the next level. They were now our guardian angels. They were now our protectors. They were now what we refer to as the ancestors. They knew that over there in the motherland. So it was never no, oh my God, I'm sad, I'm crying for days at a time, they're gone. No, we were happy for them. It was like, oh shit, she finally made it to the ancestor realm. Yes, now she can watch over me and mine. Yeah, it's gonna be some sadness as a human, that's natural. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it like you shouldn't be sad, you shouldn't cry. No. What I'm saying is you shouldn't be living in those emotions. It should never come to a point where you living in your sadness. Because they're not gone. Their body is dead. But they can't die. Because energy does not die. It transfers. So when it leaves the body, it's transferring from this physical realm, which we call Earth, to the next realm, the next dimension, the next step, the next level of the spiritual journey. And this is why we're supposed to give respect to our ancestors often. I do it daily, numerous times a day. Because the people who passed on, your loved ones who passed on, they now your ancestors. And if you love them enough to mourn their death, why not celebrate all they gave you in life with daily respect and acknowledgement? Like, yes, I do acknowledge what you were, who you were, what you gave. The New Orleans way to do funerals is the closest thing to pure understanding of what death is that we have in this country. It's the closest ritual linked to our ancestry when it comes to that concept. They understand. They second line processions, yeah, that's how that shit was over there on the motherland, pre-slavery, pre-7 continents, because we understood. Yeah, I'm sad in my human flesh, but my spirit is so happy for you because you left your body and ascended to the next realm. That means you accomplished everything you needed to do on this plane. You had to go. That's Most High's will for you. The deceased are physically gone. Yeah. You can't tangibly touch them. You can't tangibly go get a hug. But they ain't never left. The way energy works is through vibration. Your words are vibrations. You understand? Deaf people can't hear, but they can feel a sound. If they standing next to a drum that's beating, they can't hear that drum beating, but they can feel what? The vibrations. So just because somebody left you physically don't mean you can't call on them, interact with them, talk to them energetically, right? So instead of spending all these months and sometimes years holding on to this mournful sadness, this mournful pain about something you can't change, you can't resurrect the dead, but you can keep them alive in spirit and energy. How do I know this? Why am I so for sure about this? Let me tell y'all a story. My granny passed in 2014. Okay? I raised myself, but my granny raised me. Do that make sense? I physically raised myself, but my strength, how to be a woman, how to move as a lady, my granny raised me up on that. When my granny died, first of all, I was fucking devastated because she was in the hospital for about a week before she died. But because my grandmother was bedridden, she was always in and out the hospital when she got sick because her colds quickly turned into pneumonia. Being bedridden means you stuck in the bed, you can't get up. Being bedridden for over 10 years, it left her immune system so fucking weak that she couldn't really fight off something as simple as a common cold. So it would often turn into shit like pneumonia. So this particular time, she ended up in the hospital. Her cold turned into pneumonia, but this was typical. And you know me, I wasn't on my spiritual journey like that. I was just tapping in a little bit. She was helping me. So I wasn't fully there. I didn't fully understand, like, you know, I didn't fully understand that tomorrow ain't promised. So when she went in, I'm thinking like, she fine. You know, this happened all the time. She'll be out. I'll see her then. I hate hospitals. Especially when it's somebody in there that I love. I always hated them. I always get this eerie feeling like, I don't want to be around all that death and sickness and pain and sadness. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't I didn't make my way up there, and I didn't plan on making my way up there because I'm thinking she's fine. This happens often. She'll be home. I'll never forget this shit. Ooh, I'm getting emotional in the motherfucker. Oh, I thought I was, you know, better. But I missed her. You know what I'm saying? I talk to her all the time. Every fucking day I feel her around me, but I still miss her. We'll get into that though. But anyways, my grandfather called me and he said, Britt, you need to come down here and see Granny. She not doing good. She just got out of surgery. And they had to remove a mucus plug out of her lung because of the pneumonia. Her body couldn't push it out. It was building up in her lungs, so I had to remove a mucus plug. They called me and told me that earlier, like, you know, they got to remove this mucus plug. She finna go to surgery. I'll let you know when she get out. My daddy and my grandpa called me and keeping me up to date, and my auntie. So I'm like, okay. When she got out of surgery, she was good. They like, all right, she out of surgery, she good. I'm like, okay, cool. I was already planning on coming up there the next day. This was a Thursday. I was gonna go up there Friday. Like, I'm gonna give her some time. She just got out of surgery. I'm gonna let her rest, get her bearings, and I'll go see her tomorrow. But I know she gonna be home in a day or two. You know, I ain't tripping, but I'm still gonna go up there because I don't want to have her come home and me not been up there at least once. An hour after they called me and told me she was good out of surgery, like, she came out of surgery, she's fine. I'm like, all right, tell her I'll be up there tomorrow. An hour later, my grandpa called me. He said, Britt, you need to get up here. It's not looking good. I said, what the fuck happened? Y'all just said she was fine. They said she fell into a coma. I said, okay, I'm on my way. Me, my sister, we ride up there. My cousin was already there, my auntie's daughter. We ride up there. Granny in a coma. But I wasn't, at that point, I wasn't like, oh my fucking, you know, I wasn't scared. I wasn't tripping. I'm like, Granny is a fucking G. She good. She coming through this. I'll be here when she wake up. So we sitting around the hospital. At that point, I was like, I'm not leaving. Because I didn't get a chance to talk to her from the moment she went in the hospital until the moment she was in that coma. Because I'm telling myself she fine and I didn't never go up there. So I was already feeling like shit. Staying positive, telling myself she gonna be fine, she gonna wake up. She got to, because I ain't talked to her yet. So we just hanging around the hospital. You know, I get there, go in, the room kind of packed. My auntie kind of cleared it out for me. She was in there, my daddy was in there, I was in there. So I go, you know, give her a kiss, hold her hand, tell her I'm there. I just want her to hear my voice. Even though she in a coma, I always believed that when people in a coma, their body is non-reactive, but that's because they consciousness, they soul left their body. So I feel like, I always felt this, like people in comas can still hear you. They can still comprehend what the fuck is going on. They soul just not in their body in order to wake it up and command it. So I'm talking to her, you know, gave her a kiss, let her know I was there. And then me and sis and my cousin, we go outside. She was at St. Mary's. We go outside, across the street to the lake, and we smoke. We out there smoking. My auntie calls me. Y'all need to come up here. We come up there. The doctor's basically telling us like it ain't looking good. It's not. It's a very, very, very slim chance that she'll wake up. So I'm like, damn. That kind of got me panicked at this point. But I'm still trying to stay positive. So I'm like, all right. It's cool, you know. Doctors be wrong all the time. It ain't in their hands, it's in God's hands. It's the type of shit I'm telling myself. 2014. So, we kick it around the hospital for like an hour and a half, 2 hours more. And then the doctors come out like, okay, she's stable. Because, I mean, we was deep in that motherfucking hospital. My granny was the matriarch of our family. For real. Everybody was there. People I ain't seen in 10, 15 years. Because it had got bad real quick. So the doctors come out like, okay, you know, she's stabilized. She's still in a coma, but she's stable. Vitals are up. She's good. She's strong. You guys can go home, get some rest. We left. Me, my sisters, my cousins, my brothers. We all left. Like, all right, we've been up here for hours. We high. We finna go get something to eat, and then we gonna come back. And I had my daughter and my little cousin with me. They was kids, you know what I'm saying? So we all left, take the kids home. We all get something to eat. We gonna chill. And I'm gonna go back up there after I get these kids settled. I go home. I promise y'all. Literally an hour after I get home, my grandpa called me. He said, she gone, baby. I said, what you mean? He said, she passed. Broke down. From that moment, and the next 3 days, I didn't get out the bed. I was in this house, in this very same room, for 3 days. I put a blanket. I nailed. I'll never forget this shit. I took 2 nails and I nailed this blanket over the window so I can have pure darkness. And I stayed in my bed. I only got up to use the bathroom. I didn't even eat. Stayed in my bed for 3 fucking days. Crying. I was so fucking guilty. I felt so bad. I felt like she didn't know that I was there. She didn't know I loved her. She didn't know how much I needed and cared and respected for her. Because I didn't come through when she was up. I didn't make it to the hospital until she was already in that coma. I was in the bed for 3 days. On the 3rd day, I bullshit you not. On the 3rd day, mind you, I nailed a blanket, a thick ass cover, a blanket. I nailed it across this window. Wasn't no way that shit just gonna let loose or the nail gonna pop out. I nailed it. I'm talking about 5-inch nails. That's all we had was them roofing nails. On the 3rd day, the blanket fell. The blanket fell and the sun came through. And all I heard, not like no voice, like out of nowhere, it was in my head, in my whole body. All I hear in my granny's voice, it's time to get up, Britt. You can't do this no more. You got that baby, and everybody finna need you. From that moment on, I knew. Could nobody tell me shit about death. Could nobody tell me. Whew. Couldn't nobody tell me that my granny was gone. She was there. Literally. In me. Made me get the fuck out of the bed after 3 days. Because of that event, I came to fully understand death, what it is, the cycle of life, the recycling of energy, how we are not our bodies but our consciousness, and our consciousness is simply energy, and anytime you want to attract a certain energy, you speak it. I fully understood in that moment that I would always have my granny. Anytime I needed her, anytime I wanted to talk to her, all I had to do was call on her. I fully grasped that. In that moment and from there on out. Any sadness that I get now, like now I had to fight back them tears, but you see they didn't drop because I got a deeper knowing. But like my eyes are watery right now. Real shit. And I'm sad as fuck right now. But any sadness I get now is out of pure selfishness. It's simply because I want her physically here. Not because I don't believe that she gone or that she dead. But because sometimes I just wish I could go hug her and lay on her lap and just cry to her or talk to her and actually have her talk back. Actually have a dialogue and not have to wait for her energy to speak. You understand? But it's never no more like, oh my God, I can't go on with life because my grandmother is dead. No, because she's not dead. Her body's just gone. I feel my granny with me all the time. And that's no bullshit when I say that. And when I'm super fucking weak in my spirit and my mind, to the point where I feel like throwing all my progress away, I feel her in me, propelling me, moving me, keeping me going. No bullshit. Try it, y'all. Especially now that I started giving to the spirit, like my altar, giving them libations every day. Every day I light my white candle for a little while, if not all day, depending on how my energy feel. Every day I pour up some water and some liquor for them. My granny like dark liquor. I always keep her something, you know what I'm saying? Little simple shit. I make sure to give as much as I'm asking them for. I don't want to be a taker. I want to give them just as much as they give me. Keep that in mind. Next time you faced with death, or the next time you sad about somebody who's passed on in your world, they not gone. Tangibly, yeah. In the physical, yeah, they ain't here. But their energy can't die. It can't. And since energy can only transfer, that means it can go where it's called. Call on your people. Talk to them. I guarantee you they gonna talk back. Okay? So it's not necessarily gonna be them talking, but like I said, it can come how I got mine. Or if they know that shit gonna freak you the fuck out, they'll send somebody to give you a message to answer a question you asked them. Or a movie will pop on, or a TV show that's directly related to what the fuck you was praying to them about, or asking them about, or talking to them about. Or a song will come on. Or you'll have this weird ass thought like, damn, I wonder why I thought of that. That's your people. Call on them. Their energy can't do nothing but come to your presence. Can't do nothing but aid you. But don't forget to give to spirit just as much as you asking for them to give to you. Okay? And it's going to take a while for you to fully grasp what I'm saying right now about this concept we know as death. Because the European concept has been hammered into your head all your life. Hammered into your parents' head, your grandparents' head. You understand? It's been generations of fuckery. So it's going to take a while for you to strip that and fully grasp what I'm trying to say. But in this time, in 2020 and moving forward, the original tribes, the original 12 tribes of the Most High, their descendants are waking up. And all you got to do is feed your soul with facts, with truth. And spirit gonna come to you and open up them Akashic records. And allow you the power to search within for truth and answers. Alright? Alright. Woo. Let's take a breath, y'all, because we got deep. I know I did. Ha! But moving on. Guess what? Freaky Friday. Hey. Before we go into this freaky shit, I forgot to show y'all my shirt. Hold on. You did. Moving on. Ha. It's Freaky Friday. Hey. Alright. So today's topic. Oral sex. Ow. Let's jump in, y'all. Oral sex, aka head. Aka eating pussy. Aka sloppy toppy sucking dick. Alright. So since I'm a woman, we're going to start with receiving head as a woman. Now, personally, okay, I can't speak for all women. I can only speak for me. But, personally, and it's going to sound weird as fuck to a lot of people, but I don't require head. I'm not one of those, you got to lick it before you stick it type of women. You hear what I'm saying? I don't know why. I take it. I like it if it's done right. And maybe I feel that way, like it's not a requirement, because not a lot of men really know what they doing, from my experience. Number one. Number two, spit grosses me the fuck out. Like, it stank, and I understand what's in it, and my pussy is sensitive as fuck. Like, nigga, I use the wrong type of tissue and I could get a yeast infection. You feel me? Like all that fancy ass tissue like Charmin. Charmin gives me a yeast infection every fucking time, because whatever they make it with is so fluffy and soft, and like it gets stuck in me. It leave like a bunch of cottony type of shit in my pussy, and then when you try to wipe it out, I'm wiping it so much and cleaning it so much because I'm trying to get all this fucking tissue out that I end up getting a yeast infection. I hate that shit. But anyways, I digress. My point is, spit grosses me the fuck out. And a lot of men don't really know what they're doing when it comes to eating pussy. So I think that's why I don't really require it. And I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm not saying I'll tell a nigga, hell no, you can't eat my pussy. No. Pleasure is pleasure. Sex is sex. I love sex. I'm a very sexual person. So I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying it's not a requirement. If I'm fucking you because we got chemistry. I'm fucking you because it's something about you that already make me wet. I'm not just fucking on a nigga just to be fucking on a nigga. You got to make me want you. I have to want you to open my legs to you. You understand? So I'm already wet if we fucking. Before we even take our clothes off, I'm already there. Or else I'm not agreeing to it. You feel me? So it ain't never no situation where a nigga gotta eat my pussy in order to get me wet. It's not a requirement. If we fucking, it's not only because we got chemistry. It's because of the way you touch me. The way you look at me. The way you talk to me. It's because I'm horny. Just keep it a G. You know what I'm saying? Like, when dudes say shit like, oh, I just want to eat your pussy. That's all I want to do. That shit don't excite me, nigga. You just want to eat my pussy. You got the wrong bitch. Ain't no way in the fuck I'm finna let you walk up out this room without penetration. It don't work like that with this one. Nope. I have to be penetrated. I have to. That's my favorite part of sex. It's penetration. It's a different type of orgasm. There's a difference in orgasms from head and from penetration. For me. I can only speak for me now. Sure, there's other women out here who agree, but I'm just speaking for me. Okay? That shit make me laugh when a nigga say some stupid shit like, oh, I just want to eat your pussy. That's all I want to do. Nigga, bye. What was your dick small? It don't work? You burning? What's wrong? Why would you not want to stick your dick in this? I need penetration every time. Period. Head alone, I'll be better off just masturbating, playing with my pussy myself. It'll eliminate the risk for yeast infection, that's for goddamn sure. You're not just finna give me head and that's it. You crazy. You got to be crazy. Oral sex is a stimulant. It's not meant to just be the only act of sex. It's meant to be a part of foreplay because it induces stimulation. Helps to get the person there to want penetration. That's why the Most High gave us clitorises. That's why the Most High made your dick head so sensitive. To help stimulate you enough so the man can ejaculate hard enough to impregnate the woman. And so the woman can be open enough for her uterus to open and her cervix to soften so that the egg can receive the sperm. Sex is really just biology. It's really just about procreation. And if that's the case, oral sex is just meant to be a stimulant. Right? It's just meant to open you up enough and put enough pressure behind the act of sex in order to procreate. Be fruitful and fill the earth, said the Most High. So yeah, he gonna give us some ways, some tricks and tips to make sure that that sperm hits the egg. You feel me? And on top of that, I'm a germaphobe. I'm a germaphobe, and I don't let motherfuckers sit on my bed with street clothes on. I bring my own sheets to the hotel. I'm that type of bitch. So, and my boyfriends be knowing this. If we together, you already gonna know. But it's gonna be weird when we first start fucking, because it's you gonna have to get in the habit. But I make men rinse their mouth out before they eat my pussy. You got to. It's too sensitive. I will literally get a yeast infection or BV. BV is bacterial vaginosis. It's like a yeast infection on fucking steroids. Okay? With BV, you can't just go get some monostat cream and clear it up in 5 to 7 days. With BV, you got to go to the doctor and get pills that taste like fucking metal. Learned that lesson the hard way. Letting niggas eat my pussy after they smoke Newports and blunts. I don't need no Newport or Swisher residue floating around in there, imbalancing my pH. You understand? So, to be honest, I'll take head. It's not like that. I'm not saying I don't want it. I'm not saying I won't accept it. I'm saying, if you don't know what you're doing, I'm that bitch that's gonna push your head away and say, I'm straight, baby. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Just play with it. Because I'll take that. You can deeply, passionately tongue kiss me. Kiss on my neck. Kiss on my body. Play with my pussy. And you'll get the same effect as if you ate it. I'm that way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I say all that to say, as for receiving head, I'll take it. But it's not a requirement. Now, giving head. Oh, I love that shit. I love it. It's something about, and this might just be the alpha female in me, okay? It's something about watching a man go from this hard, gangster ass, thug ass, walls up, just manly, masculine, alpha type man. It's something about watching them go from that to vulnerable as fuck. Because of this. Now, I done seen this mouth do a lot of things. I done seen my mouth cut niggas' pride. Cut down your ego. Give you pain. Hurt your feelings. Make you want to knock my motherfucking head off. But to watch this mouth bring you to your knees in pleasure, oh, bitch. Giving head makes me wet. You understand? That's power. That's some motherfucking power. And I like power. Who don't? You know? And on top of that, a nigga will fuck you real good. Real good if your head game is right. You understand? I'm talking about, baby. Oh, leg shaking, can't walk type of fucking. Get that nigga some good head. Tell me I'm lying. Ask them. They'll tell you. Because men can always tell the difference between a woman who enjoys sucking dick and a woman who feel obligated. The ones who enjoy it, they want to make you feel that same pleasure that you gave them. And then some. They got to redeem themselves. They like, oh, hell no. She ain't finna have me in here moaning like a bitch. I'm finna put this shit on her. Try it, y'all. I'm telling you. Now, side note before we go into conclusion. Because, you know, it ain't really too much to say about that. Either you like it or you don't. On both ends. Receiving and giving. You feel what I'm saying? But let me give y'all some game real quick. Men and women, when it comes to oral. Rules and etiquette on head. Let's go down the list, okay? In my opinion. If you want head, keep your shit clean. I'm not sucking no musty dick. And I don't know no man who want to eat no funky pussy. Straight like that. Hygiene is essential to health, let alone a healthy sex life. Okay? Accept directions on how to do it. What worked for your last bitch ain't gonna work for your new one 9 times out of 10. It might. But accept new directions. Let her tell you how she like it. And vice versa, ladies. Listen. You run around here thinking you superhead. What you did for the last one may not work for this one. He might like it a different way. You feel me? Accept direction. Everybody's different. It ain't no diss to how you do what you do. It's just that certain people know what they like and they like it certain ways. So keep that in mind. Ladies, it is extremely important that you express how you want it, when you want it, and which way you want it. Let your boundaries be known. Example. Any nigga I'm fucking on, no. Don't push my motherfucking head. Let me know when you about to come. And do not thrust your dick down my throat. You violate any of them rules, you'll never get head from me again. Ever. Until you do right by me. Straight the fuck up. Straight like that. I don't like that shit. This ain't no motherfucking porn. Ain't nobody getting paid for these scenes, nigga. No, you ain't finna have me in here gagging and throwing up and shit. You got life fucked up. Go find you a different one, boo-boo, because that'll never happen. Never. Respect it. Or get the fuck on. And I speak a lot about women making sure they set boundaries and speak up on what they want. But men, you do the same thing. Because sometimes y'all don't be wanting to offend a bitch. Like, I ain't gonna say nothing, you know. No. Speak up, y'all. For real. It'll make for a better sex life. It'll eliminate a lot of cheating. A lot of bullshit. For real. Last but not least, explore responsibly. Okay? For me, in the beginning of sex, when we undressing, lights got to be on. Period. I need to check that shit out. Your whole area. Your whole genital area. I need to make sure ain't no bumps, no rashes, no discharge, no lumps. You understand? Because a lot of people don't know, but you can get an STD orally from oral sex. Oh, yes, baby, you can. Yep. Look it up. So I'm always on guard. I need to see first. Boyfriend, 2-3 years. Boyfriend, 5-3 years. Husband, I gives no fuck. Husband, anything in between. Don't matter. I need to see. I need to know. Because I understand the biology of men. Okay? I understand that you can still love me to death and go fuck another bitch. I get that. So I need to be sure. It's not that I don't trust you. I just trust me more. You feel me? Alright, y'all. Moving on. In conclusion. Okay? Your ancestry. In conclusion. Voodoo is a spirituality practice. Ain't nothing satanic about it. It's just misunderstood. It's misconceived. It's feared because it's unknown territory. It's feared because we've been lied to for so many years. We have had concepts that are not our own as melanated people forced upon us by punishment of death if we don't comply, if we don't accept, if we don't adapt and adopt. Voodoo originated in the motherland. It was born of the West African tribe known as the Yoruba people. The word voodoo literally means spirit. Voodoo teaches us to expand our consciousness by learning everything. Learning everything we can get our hands on and then implementing it into our spiritual journey. Implementing it into the way we practice spirituality, implementing it into our being. There is no one way to practice voodoo, just like there is no one way to be spiritual. Vocab breakdown in conclusion. Death is a European concept. That concept is one that was not found in pre-slavery and pre-seven continent Africa. The word death originates from German's original language. We are not our bodies, we are our consciousness. Our consciousness is simply energy, and energy never dies. Therefore, your deceased can never be dead. Their body simply is no longer in this realm, but their energy can always be called back. It's healthy to mourn and be sad at the passing of a loved one, but it's not healthy to live in those emotions. Take a deep look and take a page from the book of the New Orleans Second Line Procession. The way they interpret funerals is the closest ritual you gonna find to ancient African spirituality and the understanding of the concept that we know as death. And remember, your deceased, your ancestors are always there for you, there with you, and moving through you to propel your spiritual journey. Freaky Friday in conclusion. Not every woman requires head. Some of us can do without. There's a multitude of ways to get a woman wet. It doesn't have to be head. We all like pleasure, but pleasure comes in numerous forms. Be responsible while you're doing it, but feel free to explore all means of pleasure, all means of foreplay, all means of sex. Men, when giving head, make sure you clean your mouth out first, okay? You don't want to have to give her some head and then wait 5 to 7 days for a yeast infection to clear up, okay? Not saying your mouth is dirty. I'm just saying, think about all the things you put in it in a day. Food, soda, juices, snacks, cigarettes, weed, liquor. All of that shit leaves residue throughout the day. And some of us are quite sensitive down there, okay? Especially those of us who haven't busted wide and spread it low for any and everything. Those of us who are, you understand? We quite sensitive, alright? Take it easy, baby. Men can tell when a woman likes giving head versus feeling obligated to do so. Keep yourselves clean at all times. I can't believe I have to say that to adults, but you'd be surprised, okay? I've had to turn down a couple encounters due to mustiness down there. Nope, I'm straight. Respect each other's boundaries. Ask each other questions. Find out what you all like. Speak up. If they can't handle you at your rawest, they don't need to be in your energy. Alright? Until next time, y'all, I am your host, Bree, the giver of free game. Peace, love, light. See you later, family.